Welcome to episode 101, The Closing Table with Lawyers title. I'm your host, Tamera Gaede, and today's guest is going to be a familiar face, and we're going to talk about the 4 AI tools that every realtor needs to use to work smarter and sell more right after this.
Welcome to The Closing Table with host Tamera Gaede, where we break down how to be successful in real estate and what it's really like to work in the real estate business. This is The Closing Table with Lawyers title.
Welcome back. Again, this is episode 101, and today's guest is Jason Esparza, the Rook. He's been on my podcast before. I'm happy to welcome him back while him and his beautiful wife, Amber, are in town. So I picked his brain yesterday. It overflowed really quickly. I'm just going to be honest. So today is going to be a power-packed episode, and I want to welcome Jason. Welcome to the show.
Hey.
Look at you.
Look at me.
It's nice to see you.
Thank you.
We're going to have a fun talk.
Yeah, I'm excited.
I already have questions ready. I have a lot of questions. Jesse, by the way, we're probably going to go longer than 30 minutes for this one.
Just FYI. It's about to get deep.
There's a lot to unpack. Okay. So obviously we're going to talk about AI today. Mm-hmm. So I told you when we were talking yesterday, I went to Inman Connect.
Yep. And
I conferenced so hard. I went to all the things. And the main things that they were talking about, clear cooperation, relevancy in NAR and local associations, and AI.
And AI.
Mm-hmm. And then I jumped over to Tom Ferry.
Oh, yeah. That was even more.
And there was more AI.
More AI stuff.
So clearly we need to talk about AI.
Sure.
And there's a lot being thrown at us. Mm-hmm. So we're going to break down a few things today. I'm excited about that.
Yeah, it's really overwhelming.
Let's start with the number of AI tools out there to completely overwhelm the audience right out of the gate.
Completely overwhelmed. Okay, so ChatGPT launched in 2022. And since then, a short 3 years later, there have now launched close to about 1,300 AI tools.
1,300 AI tools.
Yes. And so in that overwhelm, as agents, we tend to go, that's too much. It exacerbates the situation when you do have these conventions and everyone's excited and it's a new thing and we're talking about it. But they just kind of throw out this plethora of AI tools. And I got a list from one agent who wanted to know all about them. And I'm like, that one is for a car dealership. I don't know why they would even mention that.
Well, I told you yesterday, I came back with 4 from Inman Connect that hit me for my use, right? And there was more. I just took the 4 back. Yeah. And I tried to log on. I couldn't get, I had so many problems just trying to sign up for the thing. I even emailed the customer service, still hadn't heard back from them. And I finally just gave up on that. That is, I went further than most people would go.
Yeah.
Trying to get signed on. And I'm not inept, okay? I can sign up for a tool.
Well, I understand it, is that it can help an agent's business. It can do wonderful things. But it is overwhelming. And always the question is, okay, I need to know AI. I agree. Now what? That's the question.
That's right.
That seems to be left off a lot.
Well, and bless his heart, Jason Pistano, I think is how his Tom Ferry's guy. He was like, okay, you need this one for this and this one for this and this for this and this for this. And then you need this one to tell all these other ones what to do. Yeah. And that's when I was like, and I'm out.
Yeah, you tune out. Yeah.
I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. So we're overwhelmed.
Yes.
And every time we go to conferences, we probably need to block some of that out.
Absolutely. Well, I think that if you have a clear understanding of like who you are and who your audience is to talk to, then the path it takes to connect those becomes a lot clearer. And I think sometimes it is that unclear path that agents have that then every tool looks amazing.
Yeah, it looks amazing. And I'm already using it and it's like really cool. But I want you to quickly list out the 4 AI tools that you recommend, and then we'll unpack
and then we'll break them down. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So in no particular order. So AI Studios by Google is a phenomenal tool that every agent could probably use every single day. Perplexity, then Manus, then ChatGPT, and as a bonus, I would talk about Claude.
Okay, we didn't have the bonus on there. I'm going to put that down. Okay, so let's talk about the first one.
AI Studios.
Yes.
Okay.
We talked about this a little bit yesterday. And well, that was actually question number 9. So we're skipping ahead, but that's okay.
That's all right.
So tell us about, because it blew me away.
So AI Studio by Google it's a wonderful tool that allows you to stream whatever's ever on your screen and ask AI questions about it. So I always like to give real world experiences because I don't like to go, hey, this is amazing. If you have a CRM that you are using as a real estate agent, and you got it, you like it, it does some cool things, but you're definitely not tapping into all of it. A lot of it is like, well, how do I do X, Y, and Z? Google's AI Studio will allow AI to talk to you, listen to you, and help you with anything on your computer screen. So if you want to say, hey, how do I email a contact in my CRM? It'll go, oh, okay. What you want to do is click on the button on the top right-hand corner. It can see your screen, understand what you need help with, and actually walk you through the process of helping you. So it is the ultimate customer service engine.
So me and AI Studio are going to be best friends in Excel.
Absolutely.
Because I forget. When you don't use Excel, because it's all formulas and stuff, when you don't use that all the time, you forget it, right?
I love Excel.
I know. Well, shocking, Jason, shocking. So anyway, I can see it. But anyway, it's going to help me remember a formula, right? I needed to do this, that, and the other thing to work Excel faster.
Absolutely.
Right? Practical
Anything
application.
you want to learn, AI Studio by Google is now the ultimate tool. So you could open up a spreadsheet and say, hey, how do I get column B to be divided by column C, and then give me a sum total in column F? It will walk you through the process. But wait, there's more. It will even give you the formula to put into the cells.
Oh, I love it. So you got to have the formula.
So of course, anything you want to do, anything, any tool, any program that's on your computer screen, you can access AI Google Studios first. It's just a new tab.
Okay, so give me the number one most common use that a realtor would have for AI Studio. I'm going to do that with each one.
Would be help with their CRM.
Okay.
It's the most requested thing is once you understand how to use your CRM fully, obviously going to help your business, but there are just some pieces like I don't want to go to a class or I don't want to search endless YouTube videos.
Nobody
on how
wants
to
to watch
out
training
how to do that.
videos.
I don't want to watch a training video.
God, no.
I have a very specific question that I need for this particular CRM and I need someone to help me out. Well, now you have it.
Perfect. What's tool number 2?
Tool number 2 has got to be Perplexity.
See, Jason was talking about Perplexity too.
Okay. And Perplexity is an AI tool. I always say that if Google and ChatGPT had a baby, it would be Perplexity. Perplexity is a wonderful search tool. So if you want to find trends or what do the residents living in Starwood actually say about living there, positive and negative, Perplexity will use real-time search to search forums, Reddits, all the information that's out there on the internet and then bring it back to you in a way that you can understand it. It also gives you links so that you know this is actually valid information.
Don't spoil alert about ChatGPT.
I'm not going to.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that.
I know.
The Perplexity is really good.
So we are going to use Perplexity for research.
Correct. Real-time data, trends, opinions, thoughts, what are people talking about? This is the zeitgeist. It'll put your finger on the pulse of what is going on in whatever neighborhood you want to focus on or any niche you want to focus on. So you could ask Perplexity, hey, give me a list of mom groups in the area. How do I get a hold of them? What time they meet? What their Instagram handle is so I can follow them? And what kind of moms do they target? Is it single moms? Is it working moms or whatever? And give me that list. And Perplexity will find you all that real-time current information, which you can disseminate to your people.
So give me another example. I want to break into the luxury market. How do I find luxury clients?
Okay, so this is really cool. So you could give Perplexity a neighborhood or a zip code and say, break down the demographics of this neighborhood and what they would be interested in, or break down the local businesses that would appeal to someone living in an upscale neighborhood, and it will run that information for you.
Ooh, did y'all hear that? Because do you know how many questions I get about farming? Ooh, Perplexity.
It is a fantastic tool that can definitely give you that information. And the reason why I bring up Perplexity as the first, AI Studios is really cool to help you out in your business. But the reason why I say Perplexity as the first AI tool that you really need is because that should be your first stop as a realtor looking to create content is Perplexity, because it is a search tool. In fact, I would challenge you at home is get rid of your Google application on your phone and use Perplexity instead. It can replace Google because it doesn't just go, oh, what you're looking for? Here's a list. Go through it yourself and find what you want. Perplexity will not only get the information, but give it to you with all the other stuff you want from it.
Yeah, I mean, that was one thing they mentioned in Connect is that AI. They said ChatGPT, but they probably should have just said AI.
Yeah,
has replaced Google as the search.
Yeah, I would much prefer people say AI in general because it depends on the tool. And
everybody says ChatGPT.
I think that's overwhelmed though.
Well, it's a mouthful. First of all,
yeah, just say AI. AI is easy.
Okay, tool number 3.
Tool number 3, Manus.
We talked about Manus yesterday.
Manus is one of my favorite tools, and surprisingly, it is something that I don't hear as much.
I've never heard of it before you.
Man, Manus is
That doesn't mean a lot, though.
That's okay.
You know what I mean? Because I'm not the biggest AI user yet.
Yet. I love that word.
Do you like that?
Love that.
Anyway, keep going. It's not about me.
Manus. Okay. Manus is an AI tool. I call it your data translator. It was specifically designed to take large amounts of data, specifically in spreadsheet form, and interpret what it means for you. So as a realtor, the source that I go to grab a whole bunch of data in a spreadsheet form is the MLS.
That's right. Everything you everything you export.
So I'll go normal and then I'll go Jedi. Normal is I can take a look at every home that's sold, in the past 6 months and export that list from a certain zip code, plug it into Manus and ask, what am I not seeing? What are the trends going on? This can lead to really great conversations that are data driven. So for example, you've got a client that wants to price their home higher than what because they've got, Ralph Lauren paint or whatever. And they feel that it's worth so much more. Instead of saying, hey, based upon my experience, you shouldn't do this, I could show them using Manus and data pulled from their area. If you price it at this level, you will be increasing your days on market by 27 days because the data shows that it will move faster at this price point.
Did y'all hear that? All the realtors that are struggling with your sellers and pricing right now. Did y'all hear this?
Yeah. It's data driven.
Now, will it make your seller listen? I'm not quite sure.
Well, and that's the caveat. And so, but that's something that Manus can do. Let's take it. I'll go Jedi real quick. I'll do 2 examples of Jedi because I like it.
I know you do.
One is that you could actually take all the data from a certain area, plug it into Manus, and do predictive analysis on which neighborhoods are going to start selling more in the next 3 months. Because it does something that's really cool and is called sequential reasoning, which means, hey, I know you just wanted information. This is to me Manus' superpower. I'm getting excited.
I can see it. I can see it.
Manus has the ability to go into information and do sequential. Hey, I know you wanted me to analyze the days on market, but let me also factor in construction projects that the city just announced on their website. Let me factor in demographic information. Let me factor in 6 or 7 things that you didn't think about, but because I know what you're looking for, I'm going to go ahead and do reasoning that you will also need to know X, Y, and Z.
Okay, so we're going to have to come back to what you just, look, I hear what you said and I'm very excited about it, okay? But we're going to come back to it because what you just said prompted a whole bunch of questions,
okay.
but that's not where we are in the podcast.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Because I don't want to, because we'll go off on a tangent.
Let me, just rewind that.
Yeah. No, you still need to leave it there.
Okay.
So Manus is data analysis.
Data analysis, yes. And so when we talk about what we just talked about, Perplexity is your real-time search engine for you to get really valuable real-time content with sourcing. Manus is data-driven content. So these are the 2 tools that an agent should be going to before they even think about opening ChatGPT.
Okay.
Okay.
Perplexity is online research. You wanted to clarify that.
Yes,
and then Manus is data analysis.
Data analysis.
Okay.
So many cool things you can do.
You're so excited right now. Number 4.
Number 4 would probably be ChatGPT.
Oh, here it comes.
Okay. ChatGPT
Don't be spoiling alert.
I'm not, okay. So I'll talk about the greatness of ChatGPT, but it's a specific tool. And the problem with so many, and it goes back to what we first talked about. The problem with so many AI tools being out there, then we go into, it's a stressor. So you go into fight, flight, or freeze. Most of us freeze. I got ChatGPT down. I don't want to learn anything else. ChatGPT is what I'm going to use. So you tend to use ChatGPT for everything, but it's not the best tool for everything. ChatGPT is fantastic for copy, fantastic for, making scripts or doing posts or whatever. But do you want to talk about weaknesses now or
we can.
Okay. But it's not meant for search. It was never meant for search. So you want to use Perplexity for search to pull it into ChatGPT to say, hey, I just did research about moms groups and I need for you to write me a post about it. That way, ChatGPT can access the information that you gave it and then make you some really fantastic copy. But ChatGPT, one of the weaknesses is that it hallucinates.
Oh, spoiler alert. Okay, but it's okay. Okay, so ChatGPT's purpose is?
ChatGPT's purpose is as a copywriter or your market strategist, if you want to give it a persona.
Okay, and you already gave us a very common use for it.
which is, making
That's what I want you to do. I want you to tell us what it's for.
Absolutely.
And then give us a common use.
ChatGPT is really great for sales copy, be it a caption, a script, a email sequence that you want to put out there.
Okay.
And it can do that, but get the information from either Manus or Perplexity.
Okay.
Don't ask ChatGPT to give you the information.
Oh, okay. So use it, go copy and paste what you found from Perplexity or Manus and put it in, and then ask your question for script and content.
Correct.
Okay. So everybody uses ChatGPT.
Yes.
That's the only one we really hear about.
course.
I mean, it's like Google,
Just
right?
like Google.
Nobody goes to, I don't know, is Yahoo still around? Whatever search engine is the other search engines. I don't even know what they are anymore. It's Google.
As long as you put the in front of it. If you're putting the Google or the
Google.
ChatGPT,
Okay.
then like,
well, but I'm just saying everybody uses ChatGPT because that's the one you hear about. That's
Correct.
Big Brother of AI, right?
Right.
And so let's dive into ChatGPT a little bit.
okay.
See, now that's the segue.
Okay.
So we have a lot of problems with what we're doing
Yes.
because we're all using it.
Correct.
Okay. When should you not be using ChatGPT?
Well, I think the biggest weakness of Chat, there's a couple weaknesses, but my biggest weakness is its ability to hallucinate, which you ask it for information and you think, oh, it's going to go find it on the internet. And while it does have some browsing capabilities, it's garbage. It really is. It's not awesome.
Well, I was like, what do you mean it hallucinates?
Okay, hallucination in the terminology of AI is basically it'll make some stuff up. But it's I'm not lying. It will make things up. But the reason why we never check it or question it, number one, because we barely understand the tool because it's AI and it's new and it's different, and it sounds confident. Like that's and it's always positive. That's another kind of weakness for ChatGPT is like, that's a great idea. There's actually a 1785 rule that states X, Y, and Z, and that's all just made up. Hallucination is a very big part of ChatGPT.
Okay, have you heard of? Of course you have, Jesse. Okay. Well, Tamara's late to the party again. Okay, I didn't know about hallucinations.
Well, you never fault yourself for not knowing. It's once you do know, then.
Well, I think the fault is when you're not curious enough to find out how to work with with it and keep going.
But
anyway,
that's
go
just
ahead.
the deep dive. So hallucination and the positivity aspects of it, and this kind of goes into, I guess, and let me know if we're getting too far ahead. But is how you talk to the AI. You have to tell it, don't be so positive. Not to be so positive, but question what you're telling me. What is the factual accuracy of what you're telling me? Give yourself a grade, A, B, C, or D, to very factual, I'm kind of guessing, or I just made this up. And ChatGPT will tell on itself.
So you can ask it, did you make this up?
Did you make this up? And it'll say, absolutely, there's no resources for this information.
What is the freaking point?
Well,
Help me.
the point is, and it's the big picture, and it goes back to the overwhelm. There's so many tools that we have, all these tools available to us. We really only need a few to cover 90% of what we need to do. Perplexity and Manus to get you the information, ChatGPT to formulate it into a structure that you need, and then the other tool we can talk about, Claude, for really getting to the heart of something.
And AI Studio when you don't know how to do something. Okay.
Correct.
But, okay, we've got to talk. Okay, so we now know that it will make things up.
Yes.
How do we get to the point where we're getting what we want? Meaning, you dropped a new term on me. I don't know. You've already heard it, Jesse. Prompt engineering.
Yes.
Okay. And you've been, if anyone's y'all need to be paying attention to his social media because he's dropping prompts for people.
Yeah.
And we're not going to spoil alert what you're doing today. But, okay. So you have to teach it.
Yes.
To do what you want it to do.
Correct.
And the best way to do that is prompt engineering.
Okay, so prompt engineering, I'm not a fan of that word because it's like prompt engineering. Let me show you how smart I am. It's basically instructions.
It feels like you're trying to code something.
Kind of, but it's not. If you consider, don't say prompts.
Because that's going to make it too hard.
Say instructions.
Because now I don't want to do it anymore.
And that's okay.
No, I'm going to, but I'm just saying it just sounds a lot harder.
Prompt engineering is simply understanding how to talk to AI, and it's basically how do I give it really good instructions so I can get really good results.
Well, and that was a question I had because a lot of what you were talking about in Manus, I think it was Manus, there are things that we just assume because we know them, right?
Yeah.
How do we get to the point where we're thinking about all the things that we just assume, right?
Yeah.
You're asking me to tell AI to be I have to be incredibly detailed when I'm talking to it. And I don't know how do I think of all the things I'm not thinking of because I already know they're just part of You don't think through each step of how you got to something every day. Your brain just fast forwards.
Because I just know how to do it.
Yeah, because I just know how to do it.
I think that's,
so how do you think of all the things you need to tell it to get it to the answer that you want? Does that make sense what I'm asking?
It does. For me, what helps is my autism. No, okay.
We don't have, okay, what about the rest of us? Where did my water go?
So it's all about, yes, being as detailed. So let's put it to a perspective that I think most agents can understand. They know what they know, and they're really good at their jobs. But for a lot of them, having an assistant is just a revolving door. They can't find a good assistant. And the reason being is they never stopped and documented what they do and do well. And I really don't have the time to teach you how to do it. I just need to tell you, hey, I just need this done.
That's probably
and then
my
we
problem.
get frustrated because you didn't do it the way I wanted you to done, but I never gave you the right instructions that were detailed enough to have you do it at the caliber that I wanted it done. And if you get frustrated with regular people doing that, a computer or a computer system like a large language model, like any of the AIs are, is going to be the same way. If I ask ChatGPT, hey, I need for you to write me an Instagram post about this new, listing I got. Okay, but who am I? Is it from a janitor's perspective? Is it from, an out-of-towner's perspective?
See, you wouldn't think about that
The
naturally.
very basics is telling ChatGPT its role. You are a real estate agent who has been in the business for 15 years. Your focus is, the North Dallas area. You love people. You're very friendly. And now write my post. So that's...
Oh, no. I went further than that. I had it go do a deep dive. I uploaded my bio. I had it watch. Do you know how fast it watched all my YouTube content?
Of course.
I was blown away.
Well, yeah,
at how
that's the
fast.
power of
So
it.
now it knows who I am. And now I can have it because I trained it to go find all the things about me.
Yeah.
Now I can have it do things for me from my perspective.
From your perspective. You told it who it was.
Okay. So I'm doing better than I thought.
But it's an assumption because...
But what about everybody else?
Agents think that because I ask for it, it knows to do it from my perspective. No, you have to plug in who you are.
You have to tell that every
You have
time?
to give it, not every time.
Okay.
If every language model that you're dealing with, like ChatGPT, it's a conversation or a new conversation was called, where if I say you're this, I need to keep that conversation singular to what it is I'm asking. So for example, if I want to make it my email writer, I'm going to tell it who I am, and the sole focus of that particular conversation is all about emails. I'm not going to then ask, hey, how do you break down a recipe for lasagna in the same conversation I'm having about emails, because it gets confused.
Okay, but that's really interesting that you say that, because when you're having a conversation with AI, it throws out new ideas to
It
you. That you
does.
hadn't- so you do go in and I could get from email to lasagna pretty quickly.
Of course.
Okay, I'm just telling you
do
now.
you want to know this? Oh, would you like for me to do this? And we internally go, man, that's so helpful. Thank you. We should be telling it, no, I only want you to give me the results I asked for.
Okay.
That goes to rules. That goes to context. That goes to things that you don't want. Negative prompting is what the fancy word is.
That's on the list to talk about. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. So it's about, how do I talk to AI to get what I want? That is prompt engineering. And that is, again, do you want to take a 3-hour masterclass on prompt engineering? No, because I'm busy. So what's the better way?
Yes.
Oh,
and I think what I was telling you yesterday is why do I need to prompt AI as opposed to just telling it what I need it to do?
Yeah, of course.
And you're telling me because you have to get more descriptive to get the answer that you want.
Correct. If you find yourself having to go back to ChatGPT, it's like, no, I didn't like this, or no, this is supposed to be this way, and you get frustrated with it, I would say, okay, show me your first prompt. Show me the first instructions you gave it. And it's like, it's not detailed enough.
Yeah, I think it would be a good idea to expose the audience to some prompts to help us understand what we're trying to accomplish here with them. Of course. Anyway, let's talk about negative prompts.
Negative prompts. Okay.
Because you said they're useful.
Yes.
And so give us an example of what you're talking about and why is it useful?
Yeah, we've kind of covered them throughout, but I'll focus in on that, is the fact that you need to tell it, hey, this is what I want from you. This is a format that I want from you, and I only want this. I don't need anything else. Don't offer to make me a, caption or reel if I didn't ask for one. That keeps this focus singular. Because like you said, you could just keep answering, oh yeah, do that. Oh yeah, do that. And now you're so far off of where you became. But what we don't understand is that when you ask it to do other things, you're now starting to have the model stray away from its original intent. Hey, I want you to write me emails, but a couple, suggestions down the way, now you're making a blog post for me. Well, that's a completely different person.
Okay, so
and what that's called is tone drift.
Okay, so when I'm using it, I noticed that it would suggest this for that,
Correct.
right? It'll say, do this to answer your question, but also have you considered this? That's how you get on these.
That's how you get on the bunny trails.
When you go back in there, you can see, and if you click on them, I don't know where the side menu comes up. You can see where your conversations have been saved.
Correct.
Are you saying I should go back, like stop once I accomplish my goal with AI, stop and then start a new conversation? If I want to extend the previous conversation, go back into that selection and continue that conversation. Like, how do you start and stop conversations within AI? I guess is what I'm asking. Since you're saying don't go down the rabbit hole, that's not good for it.
There's two options. You can just have one conversation be about whatever topic you want. So if I've trained the model to be about email writing, then that's what I'm going to use that one particular conversation for. Or above conversations, there exist what are called projects, which are basically just folders. And you can start a new folder. And in that folder, that's my email folder.
Okay.
So I only go into that folder when I want an email written, because I've trained the model to understand how to write emails. It understands NEPQ, sales technology, or sales psychology, NLP. And I've like made it like this.
So just treat it like your inbox in your Outlook, because you have all the subfolders in there where you organize emails,
That's a
right?
Great way to say it. You're so smart. It's a great way to think about it.
Well, you're complicated. I make it less complicated. No, I'm kidding. You actually break it down very well. I didn't mean that. Okay. So we talked about, did we cover what we needed to cover in negative prompts?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just about, again, if you tell it to what the rules are, then it's going to follow those rules, because a computer will only do what you tell it to do. But if you don't tell it what not to do, then it's just kind of lost.
Okay. Well, I understand that we've got to stop. Okay. We're all moving really fast. It's hard out there right now. We're all tired and we just want to hurry up and get some things done. Right. Yes. So I think slowing down and really understanding that it is something you need to take the time to train is really an important part of this messaging.
Well,
today.
If you do a really good job at training ChatGPT, you really only need to do it once. And that way, everything else you ask it within the realm of what that first prompt was is just cake.
Yeah, and Jason Pistana, going back to where he said you need this one to tell all these other ones, it'd be nice if there was one you could just tell it to go and tell the other guys what to do. You know, like who manages AI Studio, Perplexity, Manus, and ChatGPT?
Right. Yeah. Well, now you're getting into much larger systems. And
yeah. Okay. We probably shouldn't go there.
You can.
We're not ready for it.
But you don't need it. Yeah. I could. You want to geek out on AI agents, agentic systems? Hey, I'll talk your ear off.
I'm not sure.
But it's
I know what you just
not
said.
Necessary. Are we gonna get there? We talked about this the other day, where I have the ability to open up a form that I created, say, hey, I want to talk about the top 5 pediatricians in Frisco, and I have about 7 to 8 different prompts that it will go through sequentially, and I get an email with a blog post, captions, reel, script ideas, the whole 9 yards. That's an agentic system. I don't think anyone is ready for that yet, but that's something that can
Jesse's
happen.
shaking his head no.
But that can happen in the
No,
future.
I don't think so either. But you did tap into something I wanted to talk about. Okay, social media, right? Because we can use ChatGPT for our social media content after we've found out.
Gone through Perplexity.
To get our talking points, right. And so did I just explain the best path for the AI path for social media?
Oh yeah, if you want to talk about a sequential path that you can take for your marketing, because I like to focus on marketing because we all want more leads, is do your research on Perplexity and Manus first, and then take that information, then plug it into ChatGPT. Now ChatGPT might go, that's awesome, and then you could go deeper and go into Claude, which is more.
We didn't talk about Claude.
That's okay. It's more.
What does Claude do?
Claude is like a ghostwriter with a soul. Claude is so much more, as far as the way that it talks, more human and conversational in its capability, far beyond what ChatGPT can do. And Claude is really good at intaking a ton of information. So you could give it 8 pages that you have kind of transcribed by talking into, whatever device about how you sound, and Claude would take 8, 30, whatever pages you have and analyze your voice structure, and then create a prompt that you could bring into other agents and really understand how you talk as a person. If you had a book that you wanted to break down, you could upload a 100+ page book into Claude, and it will still analyze it, whereas ChatGPT will have its limits.
Oh, book club is different now, isn't it? We can fast track book club real quick.
So with AI having weaknesses, Claude's weaknesses, it's really good in conversational, but it's over. It's like, hey, I want you to make me a blog post. And it's like, yeah, not a problem. I made you a book. You know, that's what
Got
Claude
it.
does. So that's where it's great and it's heartfelt, but it will just go to town. You ask for one paragraph, it gives you 7.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where it becomes a little bit too much.
But you can tell it only want one paragraph.
Absolutely. But again, if you're not giving it the right instructions, it's going to do what it's intended to do, which is long form, really
It's intended for long form
It's intended
conversation.
for long form, not long form content, whether it's a conversation, a blog post, a book, whatever you want to do.
Okay. Interesting. Okay, because we didn't talk about Claude. Okay. Well, one of the things that I saw at conference I thought was really cool, I mean, for all the realtors that are scared to get on video, you could get it to recreate your voice and do an AI version of you where you could now do video without ever having doing video.
Oh, yeah. So now we're into,
Which, by the way, I think I can tell the difference between those AI people and the real ones.
You can, but what you have to understand, this is one thing I love talking about AI, is however you think I can tell AI now is the worst it will ever be. Today is the worst AI will ever be.
Well, and probably the least complicated.
No, I think the greatest thing about technology is it gets better and better and easier to understand, and easier to use. You know, I mean,
we're in the complicated phase then.
We're in the complicated phase. But those 4 tools are level 1. When you start getting into, hey, I want to, because I've been working and helping some agents clone themselves, clone their voice, clone their face, clone their, you know, whatever they want to look like. That's more of a second tier of AI. Let's get these down first. But yeah, it's absolutely to clone your voice. My queen had to do a CMA for a seller we had, and he was Russian. So I cloned her voice, and she spoke Russian for this video CMA that we did.
I think Amber told me about that. That was really cool. Yeah.
And so that is where it starts. I mean, I've got a clone of my voice. So if you wanted to do, let's say, a podcast, and you were really sick that day, well, guess what? I type in my script after I did my research in Perplexity, brought it into ChatGPT to formulate it, then gave it to Claude for some deep diving, take that script, plug it into the AI tool, which is 11 Labs, which is what most people talk about.
Oh, yeah. We talked about that one yesterday. Yeah.
11 Labs. And
is it 11 the number or
it's spelled out? 11 Labs. And then you would have a voice clone of yourself with a full-blown podcast.
Okay. What is the point of 11 Labs? Because we didn't talk about that in
11 Labs is simply a voice creator. You could, you know, I want to sound. That's all it is.
A voice.
It can do more than that, but again, we're looking at tools that what's the best use case. 11 Labs is for voice. AI voice.
I'm going to give it a whirl.
Create it.
I
want to sound Scottish. Not a problem. Let me type in the script. Is that, where have you been? You know.
I can't believe you just did that. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
It's Tamera Gaede from Lawyer's Title reaching out to you. That's been a while.
Is that the only one you got?
What? No, I can do accents for days.
Got it.
Ask
okay.
my wife.
Not the point of today. Okay, so what is? Let's pivot a little bit. Okay, because I want to talk about some other things. What is the number one key to finding the best AI tool, right? For the job.
Yeah.
Because we've already talked about what, 6 different AI tools today?
Well, AI studios.
And there's so many, you said 1,300, right? So how do we, as just everyday people, Jason, find the right AI tool for a job?
It's okay. So those, like I said, those 4 will cover pretty much the 4 that I have in my head, which is the AI studios, the ChatGPT, Perplexity, Claude. I'll throw in Manus, Claude, Manus. Anyway. Let me
see, now you're confused, and that's a problem for me. Okay.
So because I think about them in different terms. When I think about the tools that can help me in my business, it's going to be AI Studio because that's your customer service kind of thing. So I don't really see that as more of a marketing tool. AI Studio is just, hey, it's a customer service. It can help me do stuff on my computer that I don't know how to do. But the other tools that I consider would be Perplexity, Manus, ChatGPT, and then Claude. Those are the 4 tools in my head.
Okay, yeah.
So when it comes to those 4 tools, how do I know which one to use? If those 4 tools can help me with 90% of my business, how do I know which one to use? And that's kind of breaking it down into what do I need to do? Because that was always my goal when I would sit down with agents and consult is like, what's your goal? Well, I want to do this. Okay, then what's the right tool for that? Now,
well, that was my big thing. Like when I first sat down with AI, which I'm still in the infant stage of using it, I think. But clearly after the podcast today, you can see that. Anyway, when I sat down, I was like, well, what can it do?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And then, okay, so now there's all these different AIs. Okay, what can it do and which guy am I using for it? So how do we figure this out? And you said we have to identify what we need it to do.
Correct.
Right? Well, what are my choices?
Yeah. And so this is where I want to make things easy for agents. So what I created, my prompts tend to be about 2 to 3 pages long because that's just how my brain works. So I created a prompt that I can put into ChatGPT and I tell it, hey, this is what I'm wanting to do. What tool is the best to use for it? And it will let me know because I'm not always right. And it'll say, okay, well, for what this specific use case is, you need to go to Perplexity and then bring that into ChatGPT. I'm like, sweet. So
Chat will tell us that.
Well, if you have the right prompt, so I made a prompt for myself because it just makes things easier for me to say, yeah, look, this is what I want to do. How do I do it? And as it goes, okay, you can do this, or you could actually do step 1 and 2 and 3. And that makes it easier.
So we would do that when we're wanting to have it help us with a complicated system.
Correct. You can say, this is what I want to do.
Give us an example of a complicated system.
Okay, a complicated process to me would be, I want to create a reel that makes me the absolute expert in a given area. Now, that seems pretty basic, but there's a lot that goes into that. It's like, well, what area do you want to focus on? Well, I want to focus on Frisco. What subdivision? What price point? I need to know these things because that better helps me train this tool. And then once I have that, then, okay, I need to research what are the people that are living in Starwood really after? What's the lifestyle that they want? It was going to drive them there. Therefore, I know how to showcase myself as a professional in that area. And so let's say, what are the best after-school programs for kids? And that's what I'm going to do my research in Perplexity. But I can't just stop there. I need to then format that into something that's easily manageable. So then I'm going to take the information I got from Perplexity and bring it into ChatGPT and say, hey, write me a quick 3-minute reel script to showcase me as the real estate expert for this topic. And then that's when ChatGPT is going to give you the script. And then you can take that script and then go to town with it.
Okay. Well, we're going to get to a little special giveaway at the end that will help my audience with some of this.
Yeah. I'm all about giveaway.
But, okay, let's move beyond the tools, the 4 tools, okay?
Moving beyond.
So we're going to talk about the 2 aspects of AI. Like, what are the 2 aspects of AI? What should agents be wanting? What should realtors want AI to do for them?
What do you want?
Conceptually.
What do you want? Conceptually, you need to make the models and systems run as efficiently as possible. And when I talk about models and systems, it's not just about your opening or your buyer process, your seller process. Your process also mean, how do I make content on a consistent basis? That's one of the biggest struggles that agents have is I know that I need to be out there socially, but how do I make it consistent? You make it consistent when you can make your processes and just nail them down and make it easy for you. And so my first level of training someone in AI is, let's fix your business aspect of it. How do we get your email writing or your correspondence a lot easier, a lot faster? What models and systems do you have? And then where can we insert specific tools of AI to fix this? That's step number 1. That's the easy part. Yeah, I need to get more efficient. Awesome. Step number 2 is what I talked a little bit about earlier, which is, how do you clone yourself?
Right.
Because if I can clone my voice, I can clone how I look, I can clone, myself.
How you would say something.
How I would say something. Then I can create more content easier, faster. I
think you're using the word content differently than how we normally use the word content, because you're using it in a much broader way, aren't you?
I tend to.
Because when we say the word content, we think of social media, right?
Yeah.
But you're using it in a broader way.
I'm using it in a broader way. I'm talking about content as far as the content that you give to your clients as far as the next steps, to me,
any kind of listing presentation, buyer consultation kind of thing, anything that you create verbiage to explain things.
Correct. Because here's what I think. I'm a marketer and that's what I teach. So I tell agents you have to be an effective marketer before you can ever be a realtor. You don't get the shot to be a realtor until you're an effective marketer. And anything you put out there on the internet, be it communications or post, is displaying your prowess as a marketer. So if you have garbage posts or just random and just have no theme whatsoever, then that's what I'm going to see you trying to market my home like, just randomness. But if I can see that you are consistently posting about you being the expert in a given area, or your emails are just beautifully written and easy to explain, and that raises your level of how I am as far as a marketer. So that's, my content ideas, anything you put out there is content, not just on the internet for social, but any email, any text, any communication style, any process I'm taking you through is me showing you just how good I am. So that to me is all content.
Yeah. So, because I noticed that, like I said, you were using it differently than we normally use it in conversation when we're talking about this stuff. So so we want to use, the 2 aspects are making a business more efficient and effective. That's number one.
Number one.
And number two is how to clone yourselves to make content faster. Those are the two aspects.
Yeah. And again, because I want to get very clear on the understanding of content. Yes, I can clone my voice. And so instead of writing out this email, how cool would it be to just get the script, plug it into 11 Labs, I send you a voice information of what I want you to do. And if you give directions for the, to get to the title office, I can speak that to you. Or I could have myself talking to you, but it's not really me.
Okay, wait, I have a question that's not on the script. So thinking through that, do you love it when I do that? You have an answer.
Random.
Well, I'm going to plug your wife is with you today.
Yes.
She's not on the podcast. So speaking to Amber's referral marketing program, one of her number one things that she likes to use to communicate is video or video text. She calls them something else.
Yeah, video notes. Yeah.
Thank you. Can you do that in AI? It sounds like you could.
You can. You
could create the video at least.
You could create both. Okay, so let me geek out. Real quick.
I mean, I'm taking Amber's stuff and plugging it into
okay, please don't try this.
How to do more video notes.
How to do more video notes. But please don't try
Jason.
This. So here's what you could do. You could have a generative AI model, which is just a fancy word for something that makes something. And I could make a hyper realistic image of myself, right? I could pull it into another tool that will make a perfect loop of me talking. So for example, I'll face camera so this looks real. I could have a photo turned into a video of me doing this. And I'm talking and I'm just doing this. It's a repetitive motion, but you'll get the idea. And once I make that perfect loop, then I can pull it into another program where 11 Labs syncs the mouth movement to what I'm saying. So now I've got a video of me telling all these different things and I'm just doing this. And my movement is subtle enough to where you're really not going to tell this a video because my movements are so subtle. In fact, this is AI you're watching right now. I'm kidding. It's not. But that's where it can go. But it's not there yet. It's getting there very quickly.
I mean, Amber's coaching clients are going to have a reason not to send video notes anymore. Okay,
but no,
we're solving that problem.
They'll be able to send them more consistently because the process has become easier.
Yes.
So that's what I'm working with our coaching clients now. And again, it's about, and this is where I get to geek out, where a 7-step process 6 months ago to make this thing I just talked about is now a 3-step process.
That's amazing.
And so it's going to get better all the time.
Okay, so after talking to a lot of agents, what else do you see as the most, is there anything that we haven't talked about today as the most requested AI uses for them?
Not really, because
we've talked about a lot of practical
we've talked about
examples.
a lot, but the more practical thing is AI is a wonderful tool that agents can use, but it is not always the right tool depending upon their circumstance. So the very first thing is this the right tool for what I need to do? And so the very first is understanding how these tools work and how they can benefit your business. But again, it's that overwhelm. We're getting inundated with all these apps, all these tools, all these AI models. And then you go, I got ChatGPT, so that's the one I know, so that's the one I'm going to use for everything.
Yeah.
And that's where you can run into mistakes and possibly things that can get you in trouble.
Okay, we're going to wrap up the show soon, so I'm very excited about our special giveaway today.
Okay. So because I teach, it's always, for me, and this is something that my queen really believes in, is that if we're going to talk about a tool, then we need to give them the tool. And if we're going to give them the tool, then we need to show them how to use it. So we talked about how to figure out what the right AI tool to use for their business, and also prompt engineering, which again, I did about 5 days worth of Translate, 5 to 61 hours. Anyway, instead of trying to teach that, it's just easier to give it to you. So if you're watching this, you can head to my Instagram, Meet the Rook, and in the link is, you can go there. There's 2 prompts for you guys can download. The first is what's called the AI Decision Engine, and it's I think it's 3 pages. It's one prompt that you can put into ChatGPT, tell it what you want to do, and it will spit out what is the best AI tool for you to use. And the second thing is just a prompt engineering coach, which basically means it's a 3-page prompt. You put that in the ChatGPT, and it will then ask you the questions that it knows it needs to give you the best, highly detailed prompt that you can then take and put it into Manus, Perplexity, ChatGPT, whatever. So instead of me trying to teach agents how to be prompt engineers,
Yeah, let's not do that.
Hey, why don't I just give you a prompt that does it for you?
I love that answer.
So-
I don't want to learn how to, I just want you to tell
You want to do it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So,
I just want it to
it's going
happen.
to say, hey, who am I? And you're like, hey, you're a real estate agent. How much experience do I have? It's going to ask you questions because it wants to know. And it's going to, you just got to do is answer the questions, and then it's going to spit out the prompt. And then please don't keep going and say, oh, go ahead and make that for me. No. The whole reason behind this tool is to generate prompts that are really effective for you to then put in other places.
Okay. I'm excited. Actually, I feel a lot better. Thank you for helping us today, Jason.
Hey, no problem. So
You're welcome back anytime.
Oh.
Always one of my favorite guests. You and your wife, Amber. Well, it's been a very informative podcast today. I'm really excited about getting this one out. I know everyone's going to be really excited to listen to it. So thank you for being my guest. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate our partnership. So thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Well, that's a wrap on episode 101. I'm your host, Tamera Gaede. And if you like my content, you're really going to love my escrow team. So give me an opportunity to talk to you about your title needs and make it a great day.